What's going on, guys? My name is Naz and welcome to the Spooling Up channel. Today this video is brought to you in slightly different settings to where I normally am. I'm normally in the front seat of my Mark IV Golf GTI, but today we come to you from Mark II Fiesta land, retro Ford land, man. This is just the 957cc or 1 litre Fiesta Poplar that I've got on the drive. Yeah, at the minute it's not driving or anything like that. I've just literally got this for any similar parts, any parts that are shared with the XR2 that I would have found difficult to get online. That's what I've got this car for. For example, simple things like the switch holder and stuff like that. I know that's a really rare piece, that's a really rare item to see one of those in good condition. I do actually have some, but that's just an example of some of the things that I've got this car for. So yeah, basically in this video it's just things that I've done over the past few weeks to the Fiesta. Couldn't get solid time on it, so just here and there when I could do a job, I was doing it. So I did the alternator, I finally got a bracket for the brake transfer bar, and I've sorted that out, and also put the starter motor on, and the exhaust manifold's now on. So all of those bits and bobs are going to be included in the video. So if I look back now to since I started this channel, I've done drive shaft, exhaust manifold, starter motor, alternator, brake transfer bar. There's still a long way to go, guys, but we're inching nearer and nearer to the end goal. So have a look at the video, guys, and hopefully you share the enthusiasm with me. It's nice to sit in this car actually, because it's bringing some enthusiasm back, enjoying the settings, even though I'm using it as a shed at the minute. I've stripped these parts off today, but yeah, it's making me sort of dream, you know, so it's nice to be in this car. Right, guys, so let me just show you the latest problem I've had with the Fiesta and how I've overcome it. So it's down to this brake transfer bar here. You may have heard me mention it on the previous video if you've watched it. If you haven't, go and give it a look. But basically what this bar does is it transfers the motion of pressing the pedal all the way from the pedal through the bar rotates and pushes on the master cylinder and servo over here. And I'd actually previously changed the brackets for the servo, which put the master cylinder lower down. I changed the whole setup of the bar and everything just to see if it would work, and it was still no good. So I'll show you how I solved it in the end. After realising and asking a few questions online, this was the original bracket I had for the pedal end of that brake transfer bar, and this is the one it turns out I needed. This one here, I found out it's just for a normal Mark II Fiesta. I may have even taken it off that. I thought that they would be the same, but they're not. And this is the one you need for an XR2. And where the problem lies is that where they attach to the bulkhead here on this side, this one is actually too close. See, this one's a lot further away. And when you have this on, what it does is it gets the whole setup way too close to the bulkhead, and in turn what that does is it puts this rod directly against the bulkhead. So when you push the pedal, it's got nowhere to move because it's already touching something solid, so it can't move freely at all. So the whole thing needed to be lower down and further away, and that's where the new bracket comes in. Right, guys, so now with the proper bracket on here, you can see that this rod actually has enough distance from the bulkhead. Now it's not right tight up against it, so when you press it, it's able to move freely, able to move the movement that comes this way from the pedal into a rotational movement, and then therefore transfers it all the way over here and pushes on the master cylinder and servo. So glad to have this one on there, glad to have it done, glad to have it set up properly. So now I can crack on with the next thing. The thing is with this is I tried so many different things, so many different setups, a couple of different brackets and a couple of different brackets here for the master cylinder and everything. Had the bar running along the top instead of it running along the bottom there, and nothing was working. So I was completely puzzled by it. Turns out it was something so simple in the end, so glad to have that done now. Right guys, so I'm going to have a little productive day here. Next thing I'm going to be doing is putting this starter motor on. I did buy it a long time ago with the car, but of course it's barely been used. It was a little eBay purchase. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that back on. It's in quite a decent state, it's not dirty or anything, it's barely been used. I've probably turned the key on it about 50 times. So yeah, going to go ahead and throw that on now as well. Start letting this thing take some decent shape. Time to throw the starter on now. I've given the whole area here a nice clean up so that I'm not throwing it back together when it's all dirty and oily, and so that I don't have to take it apart to clean it. So obviously here we've got the flywheel and ring gear, and then the part of the gearbox that the starter motor gets mounted to. So it's pretty simple. I'll throw that on. Bolts come in from the other side. There's only 3 of them. So once they're all in, pretty simple one to just do up after, nice and tight. Can't test it at the minute, but I do know that this starter's absolutely fine. Just gonna throw everything back together. I'm not gonna do it too quickly. I want to take my time. So yeah, once they're all on, I can just do them up nice and tight, and then literally onto the next thing, which I think will be the alternator today. Alright, so here we go. Here we've got the alternator and the brackets. They've all had a little clean, all had a little polish up. Time to get it all back on the car, get it ready for the next step so we can finally get this thing running. So there's the alternator bracket on. To be honest with you, not the best. It's been cleaned up, but really needs to be sprayed or something to protect it from the elements. But that'll go on there for now. Time to get the alternator on. Right, so alternator's now on. The bracket to adjust the tension of the belt is also on. It's just time to adjust the tension of the belt, do the tensioner up, and then that's it. Here we go. So here we go. Job's complete now. Alternator's on. Belt nicely tensioned. Let's have a look from this angle here. Everything's looking good. Obviously, I'm not going to have a clue whether this is all working or not until the car's running, so better get busy with throwing the rest of the parts on. Okay, so here we are back on the Fiesta, looking to do a few more things. This is the old exhaust manifold, and this won't be going back on the car because what happened was when the car was being stripped, one of the studs in the bottom broke inside, and I've literally tried everything I could do to get it out, but being unsuccessful, I've decided to leave this. It's fully seized inside, and obviously with the amount of heat it's taken over the years, you can't even drill into it. It's literally like you can't penetrate that at all. So this is gonna have to go, I'm afraid, but I managed to source a second-hand one, which I've been doing a few little bits and bobs of work on. So this is the new one. As you can see, it's got 3 studs in the bottom, which means I'm going to be able to actually fit it and fit the downpipe to it. Obviously it was in the same sort of condition as that one there, really rusty and dirty, but I've been able to give it a good decent clean up and decent polish before it goes on the car. And underneath, all the flanges, everything's nice, ready for the gaskets to go on. Other thing I'm going to have to do is I've got to actually put studs into the head of the car for the exhaust manifold to go on, because all the studs are missing. So I've got some Loctite, managed to get some studs actually here. So I'm going to be fitting these in. and I've got some new nuts as well, so everything on that side is going to pretty much look quite good. So I'm going to go ahead and fit that. Okay guys, so I've managed to wind in all of these exhaust manifold studs, all 8 of them, using the 2-nut method. Obviously not going too tight because you can end up damaging the threads and so on and so forth. Just wound it into the chamfer with a bit of thread locker, so it's all looking good. At least these are nice and new, and it's a complete setup again. So just going to go ahead and get the gasket on, and then the manifold, and then tighten it all up. There's the exhaust manifold gasket on, looking nice and clean. Just time now to get that exhaust manifold on there. Okay, so this is what I'm using here. First of all, using the flat washer, then using the sprung loaded washer, which is anti-vibration one, is to stop the nuts coming undone, and then obviously using the nut. Manifolds here on, just time to get all these fixtures on, just to bolt it up nice and tight, and then can move to the inlet side and change the studs and that and get that sorted out. Okay, so here we have it. One CVH XR2 exhaust manifold fitted, all torqued up, everything's ready to go. Just next thing to do on the exhaust side is obviously fit the downpipe, but for now everything's looking good. Let's have a look from another angle. Here we go. It's looking pretty good. It's all ready. Just got to do the next couple of bits to get the rest of the exhaust system sorted, and then that'll be it. Right guys, so unfortunately that's the end of the video today on the Mark II XR2, but I will be trying to come back more regularly with better updates on that car, because out of the cars that I've had on this channel, that's definitely my favourite car, and that's definitely the one that's got my heart. Although it's sort of been neglected over the years and stuff, it's just due to countless issues. Maybe one day I'll do a little video just showing you and letting you know about the story on this Mark II Fiesta, and how I came about getting that and so on and so forth. But for now, yeah, I'm going to be knuckling down on the Fiesta a lot more. Anytime I get, any days off I get, I'm just going to be working on putting that back together, and trying to get that car turning over again under the key, and hopefully getting it running so as soon as possible as well. So yeah guys, if you want to see more from this Spooling Up channel, if you want to see more on the XR2, the Golf, or the BMW 330 Ci, then just hit the subscribe button, or even drop a comment and let me know what you want to see. I'll see what I can do, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up guys if you're enjoying the content. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.